Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Investor Fuel podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesil, and today I'm joined by some people I'm really looking forward to chatting with. We have Jonathan and Dustin, who have been making serious moves in the lending and private capital space. So we're really excited to have both of you here, the founders of Convoy Home Loans. And I really think our listeners are going to take something away from how you're approaching the lending space, working with investors throughout Los Angeles in such a unique way. So I would love to dive in with both of you.
Thanks for having us on.
Yes, absolutely. I think, our listeners are really going to get a lot of value from you guys. So first off, for those who may not be familiar with your company and your world, can you give the short version of what your main focus is these days?
Yeah, so our main focus when we did start the company 5 years ago was trying to live up to the motto of being your real estate investor's best friend, which can be a lot of different things, such as, fix and flip, ground up construction, but more so creatively finding a way to get the job done for real estate investors that don't have all of the antiquated or worrisome underwriting processes of a conventional loan with no tax returns needed, no W-2s, none of that stuff, and still being able to get you at most of the times the same rate you would get on a conventional loan, if not better.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really powerful. And you guys are operating in Los Angeles, or are there any other markets you're operating in?
Yeah, we're in LA. We have an office in San Diego, but we operate across the country, actually, in all 50 states.
Okay, amazing. Yeah. So, what caught my attention about you guys when we were just chatting a little bit before is how you mentioned that you're really creative with your approach. So, I would love for you guys to share that with the audience and expand on what that looks like.
Yeah, so our this product that we do a lot of called a DSCR loan, it stands for debt service coverage ratio. And what makes it so popular for real estate investors is the fact that you can get a loan done and you can get a process from start to finish a lot easier done by using simply the rental income that the property generates as the only income qualifier on the loan application rather than using your own personal income. And the reason why that's so big is most real estate investors are either self-employed or maybe do it on the side, but their tax returns are a lot of the times going to show a lot less on the bottom line than what they really bring in, right? That's a very old game that a lot of people play in this, space, but where conventional makes it hard is they look at that bottom line. So you may be, sitting cash heavy monthly, but when you go to a typical bank or lender, they're going to look at your tax returns and say, hey, you don't qualify.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
When we all know that most of the times on an investment property, the tenant is really the one making the payment. Yes, it goes from the tenant to your operating account or your bank account, and then you pay the, mortgage company. But the way we approach it is, look, if the property or the business, we'll call the investment property a business, right? It generates income. If it can self-sustain itself, then you have the ability to repay the loan that we're making. So DSCR loans is where we have kind of stood out amongst our competitors. In the last, 2 years, we've been ranked #2 in the country for loan volume, so dollar amount. We're striving to be #1 next year, but we're the #2 biggest DSCR lender in the country as it stands.
Wow, amazing. That's not easy, especially in this climate. Like, what's been your key to keeping that running smoothly to be #1?
I think for us, it's having a pulse on the market, right? So Dustin and myself, we are the owners and operators of the company, but we also are constantly originating. So we're not just in the back trying to command the ship from an outpost. We are actually in the front lines, getting our hands dirty, feeling where the market's at, and because of that, we're able to really maneuver to where the market needs are. So we were actually, when we first started like 5 years ago, when everyone else was chasing conventional loans and FHA in the 1% and 2% range, we were one of the first brokers to bring DSCR to market openly, right? At the time when nobody knew what DSCR was, we were writing at the time 40-year fixed debt at 3.125%, which all of those clients that got into those loans are never refinancing again. But we kind of were able to maneuver and feel, okay, the market is shifting this way, and we're able to pivot, our products and our baseline to wherever we need it to go.
Yeah, that's super important. I think a lot of people don't know that or aren't aware of that. And yeah, it's really important to educate people. So, how do you like prepare your clients for like these shifts and the latest that's out there?
Well, what's unique, but also comes inherently as being a real estate investor is most of the times, they will have what's called a real estate owned schedule, right? So we'll have their list of properties that they all own and be able to kind of curtail their future endeavors and goals based on what they tell us on let's just say our initial call. So prepping them on the fact that, this one, for example, for a certain client is 6 months away from being finished, and they want to be able to complete it, take the cash out, and then buy another investment or buy two more investments. What does that strategy look like? Because ultimately those types of conversations that we have with investors are a lot different than you would have with, per se, a first time home buyer that's just looking to maybe get a raise before they could get their new job, or maybe they have a baby on the way and they need to figure out how they can afford a certain home in a certain area. So the conversations are a lot more business, minded versus, I'd say 95% of the mortgage companies out there are focused more on the actual individuals, like family and life goals.
Yeah, absolutely. That's super valuable. Now, every operator I know has a moment when things felt real, maybe a deal went sideways, or a time that you just had to pivot fast. Would you mind sharing one of those moments for you?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
You're talking about as a business or just a specific deal?
Yeah, I mean, either one, or you can share both.
Yeah, I mean, as a business, I mean, like I said, we initially made that pivot up front when everyone else was doing conventional and FHA in the low rates to make the pivot to kind of an uncharted territory at the time. In terms of deals wise, we are constantly always saving deals that come from other shops and other brokers and lenders, either with liquidity issues. The borrower doesn't have enough liquidity, meaning they don't have enough cash in the bank, but they have a bunch of properties, right? A lot of investors are property rich and cash poor. So in those cases, what we've done is we've been able to utilize the equity without actually refinancing those other properties and taking any loans that are on there, but able to kind of cross collateralize to use that liquidity that's in the considered debt equity with the market and everyone else. We've wrapped that into loans to be able to save it to make sure that they can still make the purchase happen or refinance happen in some cases. Because a lot of investors right now are in positions where they're in hard money loans, right? They bought properties maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, or even 6 months ago, and the market was drastically different than what it is right now, right? They bought in more of a seller's market, and then now it's a buyer's market. So because of that shift, what we've been able to do is kind of help clients navigate that and mitigate their risk by spreading out the loan leverage, cross collateralizing, using all these different avenues, even if it's crypto or just their stock portfolio or whatnot, without having to actually sell it, because you don't really want to sell in this market if you don't have to. So a lot of those clients we helped leverage those other aspects, other assets to be able to make the LTVs better on the deals to save them.
Yeah, that's really important. People don't talk about that stuff enough.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially in this market where everyone really wants to show, I think, and in general, wants to show the good glitz and the glamour, right, with everything in the real estate world. But the reality of the situation is a lot of people that, are online kind of advertising or showing like, hey, look how much success we're having with the real estate deals that we're doing. They're not showing the 9 deals that go wrong to find the 10th deal that actually does go right, right? And we are a part of the 9 to fix the 9 so that we can make sure the 10th also is a good deal. So yeah, it is important that nobody talks about.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like what separates people that dabble in the industry versus the ones here for the long-term vision.
Exactly.
Yeah, so let me ask you this. What are you most focused on solving or scaling next?
So in this current, mortgage rate environment or landscape, we have been actively trying to get, a lot of our clients just aware of all the different products, and not just current clients, but prospective clients that we haven't spoken to yet, because you would be surprised at the amount of, real estate investors that have impressive portfolios, talking 10, 20, 30 properties, that aren't aware of the types of ground up construction loans you can do, or fix and flip, or DSCR creative. They've just been so used to going the old school way of going to your retail brick and mortar bank on the corner of your lot and walking in and saying, hey, how do I get this done, without realizing that those products are, like I said earlier, so antiquated, with not only maybe the leverage that you can get, but also the flexibility of it in terms of how long the term may last, how it's amortized, whether it's interest only or not, things of that nature that I think would make a lot of real estate investors that haven't delved into this side of lending, a lot more successful and profitable in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so important. And what would you say like the next big real goal is for your business right now?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
I think our goal is always, like Dustin said earlier, to be number one, right? We want to be not the largest because we want to be the most busy, but we want to be the largest so that we can kind of help expand the most number of investor portfolios possible. Because we really truly believe in the power of real estate. We're investors ourselves, right? So anything that we tell our clients to do, we are doing the same exact thing on the market. So I think being number one would really help solidify us in the marketplace with proof that we not only fund the most amount of deals, but we're helping the most amount of investors out there. And I think that's our biggest step up right now. There's about like a $200 million volume difference between number one and us, but we are constantly trying to do more deals to help get to that position to help more people.
Yeah, that's big. Amazing goal. What got you guys into this?
So, long story short, we both used to work at the same mortgage company down in San Diego, 10, 15 years ago when it started, maybe 12 years. I'm losing track. But we both, grew up in Los Angeles and wanted to make our way back up from San Diego to Los Angeles. And we had a lot of, let's just say, conversations with real estate investors at the time where our only option was to help them via a conventional loan. And we realized that, hey, there's a little bit of a niche in the market that we think we can take advantage of by offering more tailored solutions to real estate investors. And, we had enough experience and had enough conviction in ourselves to be able to get something up and running that would be successful. And that's ultimately what happened 5 years ago.
Amazing. Yeah, that's exciting. And as far as your own investing journey, is that something that you just began to dabble in?
I think we've aspired to invest a lot more previously, like previous to starting the company. But as we learned more about what's out there, as well as our guiding clients, we've found a lot more opportunities to invest. And I think our portfolios have definitely shown that growth and diversity across the country. And I think that just being able to tell clients what to do, but also knowing that we're not just telling them to tell them, or just because we want a deal, we will tell them and we will also go out and do the same thing, right? So I think that's the biggest differentiator that has grown our portfolio the most, just because we are literally putting our money where our mouth is, where a lot of people, unfortunately, will try to sell a course or do this and that to try to make it so that they're not actually doing the work. We're actually out there doing the work while advising clients to do kind of the same thing, because we know if it works for us and we know the pathway to get it done, we'd want them to be able to utilize the same products to grow their portfolio as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's so valuable and helpful when you're able to be in their shoes and test it out yourself versus just be like, oh, you try it and figure it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Now I know a lot of people listening to this are either earlier in their investing journey or they're just looking to level up. And I think they'd benefit from hearing this. When it comes to building your relationships and growing your network, what has made the biggest difference for you?
In terms of, the real estate investor community, not just locally in Los Angeles, but nationwide, if you will, it is a very tight knit community, right? Where I'm not just talking about, let's say, online blogs or podcasts like yours or any sort of, social media influencer that people will follow, but the ability to, if you can work with one investor or one community and do a great job, the, let's say, spider web effect that you can have by that individual or real estate investor that may have worked with Convoy, and then them mentioning our name to their meetups or in their blogs, is a lot more powerful and a lot quicker than, for example, if you did a good job for somebody buying their first, home, white picket fence. The spider web effect isn't really there, and that's kind of part of the reason why we also wanted to start Convoy, is that from business behind closed doors where we thought about it, it's very hard to have a book of business when you're doing only owner occupied type financing, because most homeowners rarely will do as many as deals as a real estate investor, right? So the ability to grow your network kind of exponentially through any of the forms that we just said a couple minutes ago is what makes it so powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. And are you have any resources for people looking to network or build those relationships? Like, what could you recommend to those people?
I think a lot of very good investing groups are on Facebook and Instagram, and there's real groups out there. Not with, I would say, like the communities that are 100,000 people large, but the smaller knit communities within certain markets, right? So if you're trying to get involved in the Columbus, Ohio market, if you look on Facebook and whatnot, I'm sure there's groups investing in that Columbus, Ohio market. And if you want to focus in there, then those are probably the groups that you want to get involved in. Like the smaller members might be 100 members, might be 50 members, but those are kind of the groups that are really, really doing the work. And that's the kind of groups of people that you want to be involved in. And obviously, we've had a lot of good experience with, YouTubers and, like, for example, One Rental at a Time. We know, and we're on their channel every single week. They're a great channel that, has a great network. And I'm sure you have a good network as well. So people that are introduced within that network, I think, are probably the best way to plug yourself in to make sure that you can thrive in a market versus try.
Yeah, that's so valuable. I mean, relationships are everything in this space.
Yep.
All right. So before we wrap up, if someone wants to connect with you guys, collaborate, or just learn more about what you're doing, what's the best way for them to reach you?
You can just go to our website, convoyhomeloans.com, and there's like a fill out or application or apply now button. And if you don't mind mentioning that you came from Michelle's podcast, that way it'll get routed to either me or John. That would be much appreciated.
Perfect. Well, listen, I appreciate your time, story, and perspective. We need more people in this space who are doing things in this right and innovative way. So thank you again for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And those of you tuning in, if you got value from this, make sure you're subscribed. We've got more conversations coming with operators just like Convoy Home Loans out here building real businesses. And we'll see you all in the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.